Why do we need more black male teachers and more black female teachers?
So just to give y'all a little bit of background, I have taught for close to about 3 years, 6th, 7th, 8th, sophomores, juniors, seniors. And originally I got into education. I was very passionate. I really wanted to be able to give back. I wanted to be able to impact the youth and make a difference in their lives so that they can go off to college and do amazing things. And I didn't have that.
I felt the exact same way when I got into teaching, but teaching is nothing like that. Teaching is like walking in a minefield, praying to God nothing explodes, but you know eventually it will.
When I got into the school system, I ran into like hella issues. Like, it was just so difficult, like working in that environment, primarily when like most of the staff I could not relate to, like my supervisors and bosses, because they were all like Caucasian, white. They were white. I don't even use Caucasian. I don't even know why I said that. They were white. And I found myself like consistently trying to tell them certain things culturally about the students, and they just did not want to listen. Like, they did not think that what I had to say was of any value, or anything that I had to say was valid. I started to create these bonds with some of the students, even the students that was bad as hell. Like, I started.
And that's why we need more black males and black females teaching, so that we could create better bonds with our youth. We're going nowhere if we do not have a large group of people to pass on knowledge to. And if we can't create great relationships with younger people, and younger people can't create good relationships with older people, then how will we coexist as a people? How will we effectively solve our problems? I don't know how we're going to do that. So we got to get more blacks in the classroom with our students so that they can see that a lot of these stereotypes about black males are just false. We're very bright and smart and not lazy, just like our students are not dumb and lazy. They're very bright and awesome as well.
To kind of like appreciate them a little more, once I like really got close to them and started to understand their stories and stuff, I started to appreciate them more. But the more and more I started to appreciate them and their experiences, the more and more it was difficult for me to work in a school, because I realized the school was so jacked up. The structure and the entire like Chicago public school system was crap, and it was trash.
And I think many teachers are when they first go into the job, because the job is not what you think it is. And that's probably like every job. You have this romanticized idea of what this job is going to be. But specifically with teaching, you got to remember that we are receiving kids that come from all types of backgrounds. But the one thing for sure is that they are a part of the individualistic capitalistic system where people only care about money and trying to get money. And being bored in school is not about getting money. And the children do not get money while they're sitting there or when they leave. So it's hard to get their attention. And school is not about violence. And a lot of video games and music and movies is about violence. So many times it's hard to capture the attention of the kids because of the structure. But then couple that with the structure that he talked about, a lot of the staff are not recognizing what has the attention of our children culturally. So it's hard for them to understand our kids. And many times they think our children are dumb. And even a lot of sadly to say, a lot of our black teachers fall into the idea that our kids are dumb, and they are not dumb. They are very smart. And he brought this up, talking about how he started to connect with kids that are considered bad and rebellious. But what it is that many of these kids see the school for what it is, which is a house of cards that easily can fall down once the kids see that they are there to help fulfill an agenda. A lot of these schools need to fail, especially Chicago public schools, because failing schools get more funding. The worse a school does, usually the more funding that they're gonna get, which means you can pay teachers more, you can pay the administration of the school more. But a lot of people don't want to talk about this. But At the end of the day, we need more Black teachers in these schools to connect with our Black students. Because no matter what people say, this is where our kids are and have been for hundreds of years. At least 100 years we've been in these schools. So even if you go with the idea that we need more African center schools, more Black schools, are you gonna hire white teachers? I hope not. So even if you want our kids to go to a different school, a different type of school, you're gonna need more Black teachers to teach them so that you can socialize them in a different way. All right, if they're gonna be in these schools, they should be around our people so they can learn how to function in society as Black people. All right, that's way better for our kids. And if you really think that the majority of our kids are gonna be homeschooled, think again. That's yet to happen, no matter how long people have been talking about pulling our children out because the school system is not helping our kids. I've yet to see a large movement of kids being homeschooled. I don't see it. So if Black people are still graduating from college, so why not steer some of them into the teacher profession to be with our children? Our children need us. Well, a lot of people say that the curriculum needs to change. But if we don't increase the number of Black people teaching that curriculum and influencing that curriculum, what good is the curriculum? Is content the only thing being taught in schools? Or are teachers responsible for socializing our children? Should other races and people be responsible for implementing inside the minds of our children how they view the world, how they react in this world? Well, if you think that we don't need more Black male teachers and more Black female teachers, then you're saying it's okay for other groups of people to socialize our children, to educate our children, which means other groups of people are teaching our children how to be Black and how to function as a Black in this society. Because no matter what you say, the majority of our kids are in these schools for 8 hours a day, being influenced by people that are not us. So keep pushing capitalism, keep pushing entrepreneurism, however you say that word, keep pushing business ownership stuff, keep pushing the idea that we need more people in STEM. If you're gonna do any of these things, you're gonna need Black teachers. But if you keep saying the ultimate thing is for Black people to just make more and more money, how are you actually going to get there without increasing the number of Black teachers? If you think the thoughts and behaviors and beliefs of our youth need to change, how are these things going to change without changing the fact that we need to increase Black teachers? Because think about it. If they currently think the way that they do because the system is the way that it is, which is majority white female teachers, then how are you going to get a different outcome without changing the structure? And a part of that structure is that which creates the teachers, which are responsible for enlightening, educating, and socializing our children.